beautiful PNC Park. The Nats open a 4-game series against the Pirates tonight. Blake Treinen on the mound for Game 1. It's a gorgeous night here along the banks of the Allegheny, not far from the confluence, right up from Three Rivers. So we've got some Curly W's in the house tonight, and the Nats looking for a road win against the Pirates, a bit of a troubled baseball team right now. They are a full 8 games back in the National League Central. Bob and FP and Pittsburgh, you look at what's going on around here, FP. They have 2 starters that have wins this year. Their pitching staff has really had a rough time.
Yeah, the rest of the staff just 1-17. When you look at what they've done, the starting rotation hasn't been good. So the Nats offense, who hasn't been good in May, trying to take advantage of a starting rotation that wasn't even close to as good as it was last year.
And, of course, Andrew McCutchen is starting to warm things up, so maybe things looking better for the Pirates. They DFA'd Wandy Rodriguez today, so they're looking for offense. This guy's been hot, and it seems like all he needs to see is some red, white, and blue, and he starts hitting the ball like crazy.
Well, he likes the Nats, but he also likes May. First 18 games in May, he's hitting .364, 24 for 66. He's a career .326 hitter in May. That's the highest month, so he loves May. He's starting to heat up and defend an MVP. He's their guy, and I say, don't let that guy beat you. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and the guy hitting behind him, Pedro Alvarez, by the way, batting .217. Maybe Blake Treinen doesn't know any better, and maybe that's a good thing. It's his second major league start. Didn't give up an earned run his first time around.
No, he was fantastic against the Dodgers, and he featured about 90% sinkers. I think he's going to have to feature the slider a lot more today against the Pirates. It's a pitch that about the 3rd time around in his first start against the Dodgers that he pulled out of the bag. It's a nasty slider. He's got more confidence in it, but the fastball, 95 to 98 miles an hour, and when it's sinking, it's tough to hit. We talked to some of the Dodgers hitters, and they said he was nasty.
And maybe he gets a lead to work with early if Denard Span keeps doing his thing. Last 2 games, 7 hits, 2 doubles, a homer. He's driven in 3. He has scored 3 times. He has been outstanding, hitting .429 now over the last week. Let's look up. It'll be Denard Span leading off in just a moment. On Masson, brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world, and by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. Well, it's a beautiful evening in Pittsburgh. Sun shining, a little on the muggy side, quite windy in town today. And we've got a nice night for baseball. It could be carrying tonight, 72 degrees. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local Train Comfort Specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Pirates take the field. They're just 19-26. The Nats are 24-22. And Jason Worth did a lot of damage against the Pirates last year. He hit 3 home runs. When these two ball clubs got together in 7 games, there were 18 home runs, 10 by the Bucks, 8 by the Nats. Anthony Rendon, well, he got a little bit of a rest yesterday at home. He's back in the lineup. And Nate McLeod, the former Pirate, gets a start here against his old ball club. Edinson Volquez, once a highly touted Texas and Cincinnati prospect and a one-time All-Star, trying to continue his career here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he got off to a great start for the Pirates, but the last 2 or 3 starts, he's been all over the place. The command has been an issue, so we'll keep an eye on that. He'll two-seam the fastball at 93 miles an hour, curveball 79, a changeup at 84. But last time out at Yankee Stadium on the 17th did not go well for Volquez. 5 2/3, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. That was a 7-1 Pirates loss. He struck out 3 and walked nobody through 81 pitches.
And the only starter on their staff other than Cole who has a win. Garrett Cole has won 4 of their starters' 5 games. It's been just a bizarre year for Clint Hurdle and his ball club, with a 4 ERA, number 12 in the National League, and number 10 on defense.
Jets set the defense for the Buccos here in Pittsburgh. Game 1 of the series. Marte, McCutcheon, Harrison your outfield. Mercer, Alvarez left side. Walker, Davis right side, and Chris Stewart behind the plate.
There's a great crew chief behind the plate tonight. 31st year for Tim Welke. Todd Titchener, 5th year. Rookie umpire Gabe Morales, and 15-year veteran Tim Timmons, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Pirates at home, 13-12. Nats on the road, 10-10. Blake Treinen didn't allow an earned run in his first start, and as FP said, the Dodgers were impressed. Mike O'Connor, Beltran Perez, Brad Peacock, and Tanner Roark, the other guys on that list. The Nats bullpen just simply outstanding. And Josh Harrison bumped to the leadoff spot, 333 in 9 games. We'll see him in the bottom of this inning. Right now, the story of this offense is Denard Span. 12 for 28 over his last 6 games, and he's 1 for 2 career with a walk against Volquez. First pitch, a little late, 7:08. Underway on a Thursday evening in Western PA. Pirates won 4 of the 7 games last year between the two clubs. So Denard raising his batting average last couple of games, nearly 30 points, from 239 to 268. Changeup, and a good one. 83, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So the first couple of starts for Volquez this year, especially against St. Louis when he only gave up 1 run. At Milwaukee gave up 1 run, 1 earned run. You know, he's following the glove around down the zone. Lately he's been throwing balls right down the middle and getting hit hard.
And a hopper out to Jordy Mercer, the shortstop.
When you talk to Pirates people, it's because he's kind of spinning out of there, not staying on plane. We always talk about flying open and how that leaves the ball up. You don't have your normal release point out front. Doesn't create that downward plane. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight. But when you look at the numbers lately for this whole staff and Volquez, it's a good night for the offense to try to get right, you would think.
There's Ray Searage, Pirates pitching coach, keeping his eye on Volquez, who's making his 9th start of the year, 10th appearance overall. 1-4 with a 4.71 ERA. We'll see how Anthony Rendon reacts to getting a day off. He'd been in there pretty much every day alongside Ian Desmond. Facing Volquez for the first time. That's just outside the bag at first.
I asked if he needed the day off because his arm was sore from throwing 120 across the infield all season. I said, I guess I needed a day off. And when you're grinding, sometimes it's more about perspective and sitting on the bench and looking at the game from a different view than it is actually resting.
That was a breaking ball. Another one to Jordy Mercer, shortstop, who's made just 2 errors this year. And the first 2 Nats on the ground with Pirate killer, at least from last year, Jason Worth on the way.
Well, he looks like a pirate. I mean, doesn't he?
He would.
I mean, he would look good in a pirate uniform, or just as a pirate on a ship, robbing people.
Protecting the waterways is how I would prefer to look at it.
Yeah.
Digging his way in, 1 for 3 career against the right-hander with a home run. On the corner.
You know, he's been lining out a lot lately, but he's starting to get into that. You remember last year when he was spinning off things and pulling balls in the 5.5 hole for hits, and then he kind of stood upright and started pounding down it. But look at his stance today. It's a little more upright, but right there, that kind of like we're talking about with Volquez. He's been spinning out of there lately, and he's trying to stand more tall and get behind the baseball.
Worth going for a bit of a walk after that one. This time the target away. And he didn't exactly hit that spot, but 95 up and in, pretty hard for anybody to make contact with. A couple of grounders and a strikeout. Blake Trinan's return to the big leagues in a moment. Jason Worth keeping all of us honest just so we don't get too close to what's going on. And here come the Pirates in the bottom of the first after a 10-pitch, 9-strike first inning for Volquez. Ike Davis, former Met. He's done some damage against the Nats, most against any team for him. He's hitting .269 overall, .286 in 28 games in a Pittsburgh uniform. So we'll keep our eyes on Josh Harrison, who, as we mentioned, has prospered in the leadoff spot, and of course that guy, you know who he is, hitting third. So here's Blake Trinan He was 2-0 at Syracuse with a 1.96 ERA in 6 starts.
Yeah, big two-seam power sinker, 94 to 98 miles an hour. And a slider 84, and he'll throw an occasional changeup, even though it didn't say it there. That's because he didn't throw one against the Dodgers, but he does have a changeup in his repertoire. His last start was Friday at Toledo for the Syracuse Chiefs. Here in the 9-3 win, 5 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 7 hits, struck out 4.
A couple of easy-looking 96 and 97s right there. Wow. 5 earned runs at the AAA level in 23 innings. Josh Harrison hitting .286. Treinen, 25 years of age. He'll have a birthday in 2 weeks. Listed at 6'5", 216 from the first base side of the rubber. Breaking ball, a good one. On the charge, Desmond. In between hop. And a good play to get their leadoff guy by less than a step.
Do you think when you just played Billy Hamilton for 3 games that for Ian Desmond, Josh Harrison looks slow right there? Harrison getting down the line, Desmond with a nice throw and barely gets him at first base, but that's how this one starts. And the most impressive part about that, it was a slider from Blake Treinen. I think he went 30+ pitches last time out against the Dodgers before he even broke out one off-speed pitch. So he threw a slider early, and we'll keep an eye on that.
Wilson Ramos with him here. First time they worked together as a starting pitcher and catcher. Here's Neil Walker. This guy's always had plenty of pop. Number 2 spot. He's hit 9 home runs, tied for 8th in the league. Switch hitter. 243 left side, 257 overall. And a chopper, and that is not exactly just bouncing out to third base. That thing is rolling hard. He really got himself with that one. On the count 1-2.
Well, it might give you the idea of how much sink the Treinen has on his pitch. Look where it starts, look where it ends. You see Wilson Ramos kind of grabbing at it down low. And usually it's the right-handed hitters that hit the sinker from a right-hander off their foot, but this time Neil Walker from the left side does it.
And a ball served left field and slicing.
.87 miles an hour last pitch, so let's check it out. I want to say that's a changeup.
That is the changeup.
It's his first changeup that he's thrown, according to Fangraphs, in the big leagues. Just fastball slider last time out against the Dodgers.
And that one just inside. The appeal down to Tim Timmons, no swing. The count 2-2. Treinen joins a pitching staff that has the 4th best ERA now in the National League, 3.23. And Walker just kind of reaching out and stroking one foul.
What, 98? It's just such easy cheese. I mean, coming out like he's playing catch with his dad in the backyard. I mean, so much fun to watch. Definitely the opposite of a max effort guy.
And the breaking ball stays way outside. 3-2 with McCutchen on deck. Neil Walker among second basemen. Well, he's right there with the best. From STG Inc. And a 3-2 with 1 out. Through a strike. Up the middle. Espinosa able to scoot and get his body behind it. And you want to face Andrew McCutchen with nobody on base.
Set the defense for the Nationals behind Blake Treinen tonight. McLeod Span Worth in the outfield. Desmond Rendon left side. Espinosa Moore right side. And the Buffalo Wilson Ramos behind the dish.
During the open, we showed you what McCutchen has done against the Nats overall. In this ballpark alone, he's hit .441 against Washington. 26 hits, 8 home runs, 16 RBIs. Had a 3 home run game here several years ago. He's going to see some velocity here. 96 right in there. So McCutchen this year at PNC Park hitting .362. third highest on base percentage in the league. And that's because they've walked him 35 times to go along with his hits. But they're showing lots of respect until somebody hitting behind him will make you pay for giving him the free pass.
Change up, 85. Nice pitch. Well, this is a guy you can't just walk because he's going to be on third in 2 pitches. I mean, it's a guy that'll steal a base, so not your prototypical number 3 guy. You talk about the former MVP, so the reigning, I should say, correctly.
Yep. And a 2-2. Breaking ball gets a grounder, but it's foul outside third. Blake Trinan, it's only his 4th year in professional baseball. 14 and 15 in the minor leagues coming into this year. Pitched as high as Double-A Harrisburg last year. 21 games, 20 starts, went 6 and 7. Strikeouts per 9 innings, averaging right about 1 per inning last year. And a 2-2 hammered up the middle, knocks it down out of the pocket of his glove. Plenty of time to make that play.
And all those McCutcheon numbers, Blake Trinan wasn't here last year, and he just stopped them by himself.
McCutcheon is hitless against the Nats this year. Sunset here in PA, and you enjoy a cold one. Look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. We are right between the 2 arcs of sunlight there. It's a broadcast position similar to ours in DC, maybe not quite as high, but we're much further back from the field. It's really kind of a strange sensation here to be so far removed from the batter's box. Here's our Honda do-ups and what they've done against the Central. Nats, by the way, this year against the Central, 3-4. And Tyler Moore hasn't had that much exposure.
I mean, I think you almost have to talk about it every time you come here. The view that you and I have up here is just unbelievable.
It's amazing. This in San Francisco, the 2 most stunning views from our vantage point as you look out beyond the outfield.
It just doesn't look real.
We actually are higher than that camera position, and we can see the entire Allegheny. You get a little bit of it there as it rolls by to the right to join the Monongahela to form the Ohio. Wilson Ramos.
Nice river knowledge, by the way. Way to go.
Ramos fights one off his hands and fouls it out of play to the right side.
That's all I know is this place beats the heck out of Three Rivers.
And that place,
Chipper.
with the turf in July and August.
I can hear myself. Is that normal?
And that is in there at the knees. nobody misses those multi-purpose stadiums in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Atlanta. The old roundhouses. We got real ballparks now, and this is one of the best. That is just a little outside, and a great take by Wilson Ramos. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Yeah, 94 to a corner, and you see the reach back with 2 strikes. See 95 Jason Worth, and then 94 right there to Wilson Ramos.
And that's a changeup way outside. Ball 3. You throw Ramos a heater away, he could easily reach any part of the right side of this ballpark. It's only 320 down the line here. He's had some good success here.
Still playing catch up though, and I mentioned it was it yesterday in the broadcast, where everybody playing out of spring training is at the same place, right? So you missed the first month of the season. Right now is perfect time for every single guy in the big leagues that's played almost 2 months to hit full stride. So the game is at a different pace and a different speed than when Wilson Ramos broke camp, and he's still trying to play catch-up baseball to get to that speed.
And Ramos will drive it to the right side, and that ball's on the ground in front of Josh Harrison. So the Nats went 1-2-3 in the first, but not here.
And there goes a no-hitter, Pittsburgh style. The Buffalo getting on here in the second. Nice piece of hit and a little inside-out job. See the sinker chasing him down and in. He gets his hands inside the baseball. And that swing right there is why Wilson Ramos is going to drive in a lot of runs. You think of Yadier Molina, other catchers that are RBI guys. That's the swing, meaning pitchers will see that and say, well, I can't get in on this guy. What do I do? You take that nasty sinker down in a way and you hit it the other way. There's no holes in that swing.
Big hole for Ian Desmond now, and they're going to go inside with him on the first pitch. Inner half for a strike. Desmond coming off the series where he didn't have a lot of hits against the Reds, but he did some damage. 3 for 15 in that series. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games. 4 of those with 2 hits or more. That's a breaking ball that stays low and away. Volquez career record 54 and 56. 163rd start. Broke in with the Rangers in 05. With the Reds in 08. Won 17 games. And went to the All-Star game. That's a changeup that stays up and in. He's having a hard time locating that pitch.
Getting into at-bats, seeing more pitches, more relaxed up there. And that's been the story of Ian Desmond in the month of May.
(2-1), short lead by Ramos, and Desmond couldn't reach it up and in. Ian is 0 for 5 career against Volquez, who lost to Steven Strasburg last year. That was that Strasburg game when Steven went 8 for the first time in his career, May 16th. Nats won it 6-2. Beat Colin Ballister and the Nats. The Great American Ballpark way back in 08. And a 2-2 is low and inside. In between, in Cincinnati in 2010, Levon beat him in a 7-1 Nats win. So we don't see him often. He was with the Padres and the Dodgers last year and led the National League in a dubious statistic. He gave up 114 runs. 3-2 pitch. Desmond's going to be called out on strikes on a pitch he thought was up and away.
I think he thought it might have been away. Let's check it out. Up, possibly, but away, probably. And you see Volquez right here trying to run that two-seamer back. Had a little bit of run back to it. And Desmond said, come on.
I think I saw the word outside after that. And here's Tyler Moore with one out.
Or you get some of the top of the order guys on, or even Nate McLeod. Volquez very deliberate to the plate, 1-5-ish and above. You could steal some bases if you get the wheels aboard.
By the way, fourth game of a series in Atlanta tonight. Brewers are running the first against the Braves. And a good breaking ball there. Matt Garza, Aaron Harang dueling there tonight.
Yeah, reading swings right now. That 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Volquez is every bit of 94. There's been some tardy swings on his heater, even though, hey, 94 is a good fastball, but it's not 98, 99. But the hacks I'm seeing, it's playing like that.
Well, he was highly considered. I mean, Texas dealt him to Cincinnati, part of a deal that got them Josh Hamilton. He was considered lightning fast with his fastball back then. 07, 08. Target away. Tyler Moore will pull it. Left side. Short hop. Alvarez. And the play not made at second base on a wide throw to Neil Walker. Pirates could have had two, and they get nothing. And that's Pedro Alvarez's 10th error of the year at third base.
It is. I mean, the hard play was right there. The short hop into his glove. That was the difficult play. And instead of just taking the one out, he rushes it to try to turn the double play. Maybe a little traveling right there as he couldn't get the ball out. And it crossed up Walker at second base, and the Nats will take the break.
10 errors by the third baseman. Pirates 35th of the year. And a big spot for Danny Espinosa, who remembers this ballpark very well from his first week in the big leagues.
Ian Desmond, 10 errors. Pedro Alvarez, 10 errors. And Yan Gomes from Cleveland, 9. Those are the leaders in baseball.
Danny made his first major league start in this ballpark in September of 2010 and hit his first major league home run against Zach Duke here, batting right-handed. Hit it into the right field seats here. And a chance to do something big early in the ball game here. 0 for 3 career against Volquez. Steps in at 222. Just 214 from the left side. Volquez has given up 9 home runs already. And that's the 4th highest total in the National League. Marco Estrada, former Nat of Milwaukee's given up 12. Good ballpark for right-handers if you can get out in, or left-handers if you can get out in front of one. And he does. Hits it hard, and it is caught on a reach by Josh Harrison. Got out there with another gear, and Harrison came close to not getting back far enough.
That ball was crushed. Different gear, and it might have been a riser at the end. Watch the swing. Short, compact, got the fastball he's looking for, and I thought this might get over Josh Harrison's head. And right here, there's the extra gear you're talking about. There's a lot of white showing when he makes the play, kind of a snow cone job. And that was probably going to be 2 runs.
Nate McLeod got a nice hand a moment ago when he was announced. Drafted by the Pirates, 25th round back in 2000. Was here till 08, actually 09 when he went to Atlanta. 08 his last full season here, and that's ball one low. He was in the Pirate system for 5 years as a minor leaguer, stole 158 bases, and has done some nice damage here. 26 homers, 94 RBIs in 2008 overall when he went to the All-Star game.
46 doubles that year.
Yeah, that was tied for first in the league.
23 stolen bases, caught just 3 times. 4 triples and 113 runs scored.
Then in June of 09 he was traded for Charlie Morton, who will start here tomorrow night, and 2 other players. That is a fair ball, hugging the line all the way down there, and Nate McLeod didn't run. He thought it was a foul ball, but it was pretty fair looking all the way down the line.
And getting his second big league start today. Some talent evaluators within the national system see Treinen as a starter. Some see him as a potential dominant late inning reliever because of the velocity that he brings and that hard sinker that has a propensity to get a lot of ground ball outs. Talked to pitching coach Steve McCatty earlier today about Treinen. He said he's got the potential to be a good starting pitcher at this level, but for that to happen, he's going to have to throw his slider and gain more confidence with it. You know, Treinen can have success throwing that hard sinker the vast majority of the time, and the Nats don't want him to get away from that. But in addition to having the changeup, they really want him to develop that slider. So when he went back down to AAA Syracuse after that start against the Dodgers, they told him focus on that, focus on the breaking ball, develop that pitch, get as confident in it as you can, and you're going to need that pitch up here at the big league level to help keep hitters honest.
Well, Dan, well put, because he got Josh Harrison first out of the game on the slider, and that bouncing ball was short.
Thrown the changeup a couple of times tonight. Good stuff, Dan. Way to go.
Here's Pedro Alvarez, who was the National League home run champ last year. He was also the strikeout champion. 36 homers, 100 RBIs, 186 strikeouts. This year he's fanned 40 times, and he's hitting .217.
Mass and Dan looking sharp tonight. You see that?
Got to talk to him about the black and gold in the other guy's ballpark.
No, it's blue and gold. He's good.
Okay, blue. We're good.
Sharp. Senator Coco.
Driven the other way. Denard Span, long way to go, and he will catch it with his glove resting on the warning track.
Wow.
That thing just died on him, and Denard, skidding to a halt, turns it into a shoestring catch.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. You got to negotiate the bullpen, so you're kind of going around the corner here. But if it's in the ballpark, he's going to catch it. He just overran it. Had to hit the brakes, and then he goes all Willie Mays at the end as he's hitting the dirt. What a play by Denard Span. And folks, check out the bare hand securing it. That's why he's going to win a Gold Glove someday. 2 hands on a running catch. And Blake Trinan wishing it into Nart Span's glove. And Blake will soon realize that if it's in the park, the center fielder's going to catch it.
Yeah, Blake thinking, hey, I don't have to back up third now.
And
great play.
Maybe they don't make that play in AA or AAA. Probably
not. Here's Starling Marte. Gives you an idea about Pedro Alvarez's power. That's the deepest part of this ballpark. Espinosa, quick hands to throw out the speedy Marte. 5 in a row for Trinan starting the game.
Well, that was the buzzsaw right there. Did you see that? And that may be what we start calling the Blake Trinan sinker, the buzzsaw. This is right in Starling Marte's kitchen. Look at this late movement off the hands, upper 90s. I mean, it just can't be a fun at bat for a right-handed hitter off Trinan.
It's a man who stole 41 bases last year, and Danny knew he had to be quick. Now the former Met Ike Davis. Traded to Pittsburgh April 20th for pitcher Zach Thornton and a player to be named later. He's done okay as a Pirate. 28 games, hitting .286. And the Mets seem to be pretty happy with Lucas Duda. Way out ahead. 86 on the off speed. Tyler Moore to Trinan. Wow. 2 innings back in the big leagues. And again, wow.
Impressive.
Seeing all the stuff from Blake Trinan on a beautiful skyline night in the Berg.
Going to lead this thing off. Watch Denard Span. We're going to show you the route he takes in center field. Watch him take his head off the ball right there. You see that little glance? Another little glance. So he's feeling the wall, and as an outfielder, just that little glance right there with your peripheral vision, you're telling where that's called the north side notch right there. And it's a tough little area, and if you look at the breeze, it's blowing in from right to the right of the scoreboard. So maybe that ball parachuted on Span, but I love the fact that he took his eyes off the baseball just to get a glimpse real quick of the bullpen and where it was. And that's a guy that hasn't played many games here. And he played it like it was his own ballpark. Very impressive.
Yeah, just a little quirky out there. 410, deepest part of PNC Park. Here's Blake Trinan, who had a base hit against the Dodgers in his major league debut.
When you roll your head that quick, Kurt, you're not really seeing the wall, but you're getting a glimpse of it, knowing it's there. Because if you take your eyes off too long, you lose the baseball. But that was extremely impressive. And what new with Denard Span? Spanning.
A little bit outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's got to be an automatic take right here, right?
You would think. Outfield around to the right. Harrison shallow on the offside. And Trinan will take it on the front door. 2-1.
Looking hitterish. I like it. Good stance. Good setup. scared him into a 2-1 count.
Ball 3.
I like the heel in the air and the front foot in the middle of the stance. Watch this. Just going with the heel up.
And another call on the inside edge. But Trinan's going to make his counterpart throw at least 6 pitches in this at bat.
Dewey Evans look right here.
Yeah.
Toe up in the air.
Nice.
Good call. Pat myself on the back a little bit.
And a foul tip will extend the bat a little further.
I like it. 7 bullets. Pitch count killer, Blake Trinan. Going to work again.
33 pitches, first 2 innings for Volquez. Up and in. He works a walk to lead off the 3rd.
That was a great at bat.
STG Inc. inside the numbers again. Most hits in a 3-game series this year. 3rd highest in baseball. Bonifacio of the Cubs against the Pirates had 11. Charlie Blackmon of Colorado against Arizona had 10. But only Christian Guzman and Brad Wilkerson had done it in the history of the Nats. Denard just did it against the Reds with that memorable 5-hit game right in the middle.
Doubles and homers and stolen bases.
Target away. Showed bunt, took the curveball.
Well, he's going to bunt a fastball, but the curveball locked him up. When you square around as a base hit bunter, you want to bunt something straight, not something with a wrinkle in it.
And Pedro Alvarez, the 3rd baseman, who we mentioned has 9 errors, at now 10 with 1 tonight on the charge. Lay down a good bunt, 3rd base line, take your chances. Span this time swinging. Led off the game yesterday with a no-doubter down the right field side.
That took care of the no-hitter and the shutout. 1 swing. 1-0 Nats, and that's all they get all day.
Yeah, who'd have thought that at the time? Denard Span, 28th career home run. Most he's ever hit in a season, 8 with the 09 Twins. So 1-2 now as the fastball rides high. First time through the order. The Nats go 1 for 8 with a walk. Tyler Moore reached on an error. The only base hit, Wilson Ramos, opposite field single.
Going curveball right here. This might be a favor to Denard. He was late on the heater.
That was down and in. Tough pitch to get the bat on. He did.
I'll tell you what, when you talk about the Pirates this year, there's so many parallels between the Nats last year and the Pirates this year. They're coming off the magical season, you know, where everything went right for them. They got in the playoffs. The city was going nuts about the ball club, and then they find themselves off to a slow start. And there's just such a difference, as we saw last year, being the hunted versus the hunter. Now, people coming after the Pirates this year with their best bolt, to where they may have snuck up on some people last year. It's not the case in 2014.
Changeup misses.
And they were the Nats last year. Everybody feeling good about Pittsburgh Pirates. Everybody rooting for the Pirates. It's good for baseball when this city wins, I believe.
And here's the big difference, FP. They did it with pitching. 3rd best ERA. Fewest home runs given up in all of baseball. 3rd in strikeouts. This year their pitching just hasn't been there.
Well, and then they had it. And that's nowhere to be found in analytics. And it's hard to recreate. And I think the Nats found that out last year.
Span now extending the at-bat.
You find yourself I mean, if you've ever transferred jobs or transferred schools, when you liked one job better than the other, you find yourself always talking about the other job or the other school, and before you know it, wherever you're at, you're performing poorly. And the same thing could be said for the Nats last year. They were still hungover from 2012. Next thing you look up, it's the All-Star break, and you're not where you want to be, and you're just living in the past. And in baseball, good season or bad season, you have to turn the page and you have to start over. But these guys lost some leaders in A.J. Burnett. Marlon Byrd was a great get late in the season. Just not the same team.
Well, Denard Span has worked this thing to 3-2. One more footnote on the Pirates. They beat Cincinnati in the wild card game. Then they got into the playoffs against one of their division rivals, St. Louis. You could kind of see the difference between the team that had been and the team that hadn't been there before. Pirate pitchers were walking guys at bad times. Some of their hitters just totally went cold. And they lost that series, a best of 7 in just 5 games.
The hitters go cold, or does everybody from St. Louis throw 100?
Yes. Yes. Yes and yes. So how about these two at bats? Blake Trinan says, Denard Span, see what you can do after I did it. And a pair of walks setting the table for Rendon and Worth.
Well, it's been the problem for Volquez the last couple of starts. The command, and a nice at-bat again by Denard Span. Pitch count up. And back-to-back walks to start up the third.
So a long second, extended by the error. Took him 2 more hitters to get out of that inning. And now the walks here. Anthony Rendon sharply to short first time with a ground ball.
The old base hit bunt for a sacrifice is not the worst play in the world right here.
And he's behind again.
And the only way that's not a good play is you don't want to give a guy an out who's having trouble throwing strikes.
Good call. Next pitch will be 50 with nobody out in the third. Pirates coming off a slugfest with the Orioles last night that they won. And their own pitcher taking the air out of the ballpark here. Generous call on a low breaking ball. 1-1. Nissan will have a look.
But watch Rendon's reaction. That's the best part. All right, called it a strike. Probably wasn't.
You know, and if that's below pitch track, you know it's down.
Yeah,
because that box really likes the low pitch.
I think it's underwater officially if it's below pitch track.
And a 1-1. That was a pretty good looking curve.
Well, give Chris Stewart some credit right now because Volquez not throwing the fastball for a strike. So what does he do? Try to get his pitcher's release point back out in front on top. Calls a couple of curveballs and he's back in the zone. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws the fastball for a strike.
Good fastball hitter in there. Good ballpark in which to take it the other way. He's going to hook him again, and Anthony Rendon stays alive.
.52 pitches already. Fastball up, back to the curveball is what you see a lot of pitchers do in this case. And if he chases the fastball, great. If he doesn't, you get back to the curveball.
Rendon on a heater, deep short. They have a play at third. Alvarez couldn't reach the ball, so he did a good thing by retreating and grabbing the force-out throw. Interesting play.
Not the worst thing in the world right there, because now you have 2 speedy runners on. So you trade Blake Trinan for Denard Span at second base. Nice play by Mercer going in the hole. Alvarez finding the bag. That's not an easy thing to do for a third baseman that doesn't do it a whole lot. Get back, find the bag for the force out. But now you got a guy very deliberate to the plate. You got your base stealers on. Good time to run if you're Span and Rendon.
Jason Worth struck out swinging first time. Neil Walker keeping Span close at second. Now retreating. First pitch breaking ball in there. With Ike Davis, by the time Rendon gets his lead, playing right behind him. You were wondering what Jason's hitting in situations like this. 16 of his 20 RBIs. 3 home runs against Pittsburgh pitching last year.
See, that's all you have to do, and I'm surprised more pitchers at the big league level don't do that. Just a little inside move, a token move to where now as a base stealer, I can't go as soon as you lift up your foot.
No score, top of the third. Nationals have had 4 base runners already. And Worth will crank one to center. McCutchen going back. One hands it on the track. Span gets back easily to tag. And that ball was hit about 390 on a button. 2 outs.
Well, there's stats for everything in baseball, and I would love to know how many times Jason Worth has lined out this season, because it feels like he's leading every category or all of baseball in lineouts. There's another example right there. I mean, that's the sound. But McCutchen, paying him respect, was playing him deep to start. He got back to the wall. Nice play. Jason Worth pondering life right now. I mean, what new? Another lineup for the Nats right fielder.
Stepping in now, Wilson Ramos, who still has the Nats' only base hit.
Did he say something about existential existence last year? I think that's probably what he was thinking about.
Ramos' 7th hit of the year last inning. 2-for-2 career against Volquez with a walk. Rendon getting a pretty good lead at first. And Ramos a little late with a swing, even though that was a changeup.
Just seems like right now for the Nats, minus that second Reds game, that scoring runs is like discovering gold. I mean, it's just hard for him right now, and you can kind of see him grinding and trying to just plate a few runners to give their pitchers a break.
Ramos, high chopper left side. Alvarez. Pirates are out of the inning after Volquez walked the first 2 batters. The Nats have stranded 4 already. Blake Trinan now back to work.
little sunset in the Berg. Is that our hotel? I'm trying to figure out. No, that's not our hotel, but the sunset hitting the windows, that was a great shot. Fantastic view, and that's what we could look at for 4 days, and what you could look at is pizza when the Nats score 7 runs. Everybody gets full all season long. When the Nats win and score 7 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu prices at papajohns.com by entering the promo code NATS50. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official pizza of your Washington Nationals.
Jordy Mercer, Chris Stewart, Edinson Volquez, 7-8-9 for the Pirates, bottom of the third. First 2 innings, Blake Treinen, 24 pitches, 18 strikes, including a 6-pitch second inning.
And if you're just joining us at 8 o'clock, you've missed a hit.
A couple of walks. Treinen should be pretty fresh. May 11th at Columbus, 77 pitches in 6 innings. 5 days later, 88 pitches in 5 2/3. Syracuse won both of those ball games. And a ball hit foul, well foul, third base side. Here at PNC Park, capacity 38,362. One of the smaller ballparks in baseball in terms of capacity, but beautifully placed along the banks of the river here. It opened in 2001. They've had an all-star game here. They've now had some playoff games here. Good for them. After a 21-year drought, ironically the number that Roberto Clemente wore, and that was not lost on a lot of people in Pittsburgh last year, including the great Clemente's family, as Clint Hurdle got his team in there with 94 wins.
Well, I'll tell you what, I highly recommend coming to this yard to see it, because it is spectacular.
Yeah, this may be a ballpark where you want to sit in the upper deck.
Or the broadcast booth.
And the right field wall is 21 feet high, in tribute to the great Clemente, who had exactly 3,000 hits before tragically taken away from us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I know I've said this before, but I feel fortunate to be of a generation that got to see him play, and Willie Mays at the same time in the National League. I mean, 2 guys who just electrified a ball game. And I'm not just talking about with the bats and the legs. In the field, Willie in center and Clemente in right. Just unbelievable. And Clemente running the bases. Oh my gosh. 2-hopper, Ian Desmond. 7 straight to start the game. Patriotic Series presented by SAIC honors the military. Memorial Day, when the Nats and the Marlins get together, miniature American flags given to the fans as they enter Nationals Park. Nationals.com/patriotic or 202-675-NATS. It's a day for the red, white, and blue. A day game on Monday. Can't wait.
Every day is a day for the red, white, and blue. Anybody in today's game remind you of those 2 you just spoke of, Mays and Clemente?
2 guys?
Anybody.
The Span with the glove.
Wow.
And the McCutcheon. Well hit. Desmond right there. He just reached up the glove, and that ball was crushed by Chris Stewart. 2 outs.
It's good positioning, right? Good scouting report.
Brilliant.
Ian Desmond, you just stand right there because you're going to get a line drive right in your tracks. Not a problem.
Were those the 2 you were thinking of, or somebody else?
Puig comes to mind.
Okay.
I didn't see.
I thought you meant in this ballpark.
No,
okay.
no,
I got you.
I didn't see those other 2 play. So, you know, other than watching video.
Some Masson viewers who follow the Orioles remember a couple of World Series throws Clemente made.
I've told the story before. When I was a Giant, having breakfast with Willie Mays and him telling me where to stand in Candlestick Park in center field, and I didn't hear a word he said because I just sat there going, I'm having breakfast with Willie Mays.
I hope you bought him breakfast.
And I was in the food room.
Okay.
in the clubhouse.
All right. I'd assume Willie wasn't paying dues anymore at that point.
No, he told me where the wind currents were and where to stand and where the ball would carry, where it would die, a lot like Denard Span's catch here today, where it just kind of would parachute on you, and telling me all kinds of tricks.
Trying in 94. Did you see the late movement on that?
Yeah, it's split action.
Wow. That was nasty.
Yeah, right over the top. You see that little dip at the end, 94.
2-2 pitch.
This is where Blake Trinan can't think about his at-bat.
Volquez, 096 career hitter, 1 for 11 this year. And he doesn't get the call at the knees, and the Pirates pitcher is their first base runner.
Well, I've seen umpires ring pitchers up on worse pitches than this.
I think Tim Welke thought about it a moment.
I think Edinson Volquez thought about it for a moment. Did you see his delayed kind of, all right, I'll take it.
I walked. I really did.
All right, second time around. First time the Pirates saw Blake Trinan. I always say veteran hitters do their homework. See if he's got second time around the order stuff tonight.
And by the way, first time through the order, 0 for 8. And 6 of those on the ground. Josh Harrison with a clean single. All right, major league hitters. Next up, Neil Walker, McCutchen on deck. Suddenly, things get a little different here in the bottom of the third.
Well, it goes back to what Dan reported earlier and what Steve McCatty said. Now is when you're going to have to go to all hands on deck in your repertoire, meaning maybe a first pitch slider, maybe a first pitch changeup, maybe a 1-0 slider, to where, okay, they've seen 97, 98. They've felt my velocity. They've seen the sink in my fastball. So second, and if you're lucky enough third time around, it's based on your secondary pitches and mixing them up and keeping hitters off balance. They make adjustments a lot quicker up here than they do in the minor leagues.
Here's Neil Walker. Grounded out to Danny Espinosa. First time up, Danny had to go toward up the middle to grab that ball. Fastball upstairs. Neil Walker. Right now, the Pirates leading home run guy. They've hit 42, 8th in the league. And that is inside with 94. Three and one, and lots of danger on deck.
Yeah, I've mentioned many times this year about pitchers feeling the presence on deck or in the hole. Might be the case right here. It's how it affects the hitter in the box.
Not even close. And all this started with a 2-out walk to the pitcher. Steve McCatty's going to walk to the mound. And this game could change in a hurry. McCatty, Trinan, and Ramos trying to keep it from happening.
I mean, I even saw Blake Trinan peek over to Andrew McCutchen halfway through that sequence, to where He was very aware, and how could you not be with the reigning MVP on deck? Who was on deck? This is all about, hey, stick to the game plan, execute the game plan. We went over it. We know what we want to do to this guy. It's just a matter of doing it. The process, not the result.
A lot of pitches this inning, obviously. Was in a position to make it a quick frame.
Pretty big power zone for not a very big guy.
Hit the daylights out of the ball first time, right into the glove of Trinan, who knocked it down and threw him out, ending the first inning. And that hits it. Off speed, 1-0 Pittsburgh. 4 consecutive runners with 2 outs, and only one has hit the ball.
Well, that's just, I'm going to throw the greatest changeup I've ever thrown in my whole life for strike one, and he overthrows it, and it gets away. Painful RBI for McCutchen, but it puts his team on the board, and once again, the Nats have to play from behind.
Here's Pedro Alvarez, who sent Denard Span nearly into the Nats bullpen for a fly ball first time up. And this one popped up. Span tracking it. And maybe hitting McCutchen with an off-speed pitch is better than giving up a double or a triple with the bases loaded.
Maybe that's what McCaddy told him to do. Who knows?
Just give him one. Let's get out of this thing.
PNC Park. If you compare what the Nationals have done so far this year through 46 games to what they did last year through 46 games, the record is very similar. The Nats have one more win at this point than they did last year. But if you're the optimistic type, and I would like to think that a lot of people watching probably are, there are some stats here that will show that the Nats are faring better than they did last year. They're scoring more than a half run per game this season than they did last year. The team batting average is 21 points higher than it was at this point last year. And the ERA is 37 points lower as a team than it was in 2013. So the record, again, pretty similar, and the Nationals aren't where they want to be at this point. But if you're looking in the right direction, you're trying to see some wins come around, you can look to those numbers and say that things might start to turn for the Nationals in the near future.
Well done, Dan, and I think things will turn as soon as the injury situation turns. Adam LaRoche could be back this weekend.
That's great stuff right there. Like where your head's at, Dan. Nicely done.
Top of the fourth, Desmond Moore and Espinoza.
I mean, everybody you talked to, I saw John Smoltz in the hallway, and Who knows more about winning than John Smoltz? He said, you guys are going to be fine. You just got to get healthy. And once you do, look out. And I think that's the consensus around Major League Baseball, is for the Nationals just to tread water, keep grinding like they are, play hard every night, fight, battle, scrap, claw, and then get Zimmerman back, get Bryce Harper back. Adam LaRoche starting his rehab tonight. Get him back. And then see what's up.
2-0. Desmond on a 3-2 pitch struck out looking first time on a pitch he thought was outside. Hitters count here at a 1-0 game. Might be ready to let one rip. In the air, right center. McCutchen watching it, and he let one rip. The game is tied. Ian Desmond, 8th of the year.
Call, partner. Just so slow with the feet. Like I said, getting into at bats. I mean, you get to a 2-0 count. How much easier is it to hit in a 2-0 count, Ian Desmond? I mean, you never saw that in April. Now May, he's relaxed. He's taking balls, swinging at strikes. The feet are slow. The bat is quick. And just like that, an answer to the Pirates' run in the bottom of the third.
That's about 390 where that ball went out opposite field. It's a 10-foot wall from left center to right center. And here's Tyler Moore with the Nats back even. Team 44th of the year.
Aggressive with a plan is so much better than aggressive, because when you're just aggressive, you're at the mercy of whatever they throw. If you're aggressive with a plan, now you're spitting on pitches, you're getting into a count, and you know what they're going to throw, and it takes all the mystery out of the equation. That's been the difference for Desmond from April to May, and now he's the 2020 guy that we've gotten used to the last 2 years.
2-0 to Moore. Look out here. They have a shift on. That's the second baseman, Neil Walker, to the left of second base.
You pressed your luck, by the way, trying to go for back-to-back jacks. I saw you working over there. I like it, though. Remember, Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Medical Center for every home run a Nats player hits this season. So Ian Desmond, $250 in the pot. It's for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Well, you know, your approval means the world to me.
Yes.
So keep me honest.
It's a good try.
Here's Espinosa. We'll get him next time. Tighten this thing up.
Clean it up.
The Nats have tied it up. And Danny lined out hard to Harrison in right field first time, and a strike call on a comeback breaking ball. Showing Bunton dancing out of the box again. Well, now the middle infielders lead the ball club with a combined 14 home runs.
But you see what's going on right now. Espinosa's gotten 3 consecutive changeups because he had a bullet to right field on a fastball first time up. So now Volquez and Stewart adjusting to the bullet off the bat of Espinosa, and they're soft tossing him right here. The changeups.
A little bit away. Good take by Danny Espinosa. That was similar to the first pitch, called a strike. Nate McLouth, you can see behind him on deck with 1 out here in the 4th. Nats 8th in the league in hitting, Pirates 7th. Nats 5th in runs, Pirates 8th. Nats 7th in homers, Pirates 8th. A lot of similarities between the clubs offensively, except Pittsburgh pretty much has a healthy roster in terms of starting players. They get Russell Martin back tomorrow. He came off the DL today. but he's serving a suspension from a fight they had here on April 20th against the Brewers when he bumped an umpire. Now this is interesting. With a 2-2 count, the Pirates just shifted their whole infield over. They go into a shift on a certain count here.
I'd bump with 2 strikes right here. I wouldn't care.
Espinosa right to the first baseman, Ike Davis. 2 outs.
The first 20,000 fans at Wednesday's Nats-Marlins game will receive a Bryce Harper music download card presented by T-Mobile. This giveaway will be distributed at all gates while supplies last. So get your Bryce Harper music download card. Call 202-675-NATS or visit nationals.com/tickets.
Thanks, T-Mobile.
They're going to get one. They'll be there. I see red people even in Pittsburgh. I love it.
Wait till tomorrow. After the work week's over in D.C., we'll have a lot of fans over here for the weekend.
Take over the yard.
Come on over. Hey, made the drive today. It was exactly 4 hours. Took a little while to get away from the Pentagon area, but it was smooth sailing after that.
Solid wrist bracelet with the baseball right there. I like it.
Nate McLouth pulled the ball first time on the ground to Ike Davis. He didn't run, thought it was foul. But it did appear to be a fair ball all the way down the line. Oh, 2, got to be ripping. In the division, by the way, today, Marlins at home beat the Phillies 4-3. Their 25th win of the year. Virtual tie with the Nats right now for second. Milwaukee 3-1 4th inning at Atlanta, and the Dodgers at the Mets 1-1 4th inning. That's the rest of the division. Coming into the evening, the Braves 5 over. Now the Marlins have bumped up and tied the Nats.
The Marlins are my pick as the toughest competition for the Nats in the division this year in spring training. If they still do it without Jose Fernandez, that would really be a story.
That ball well stroked to left center, tailing away from McCutchen. He'll get there anyway. Then he drops it. He got to the ball and then dropped it. And I wonder if the Pirates might be asking how long did he have it. Well, so McLeod safely aboard with 2 outs, and Clint Hurdle is not coming out of his dugout.
Well, he is looking around, and let's check it out again. I was about to say that sums up Nate McLeod's season.
Hit the ground and came out.
Well, everybody knows the ground can't cause a fumble.
Evidently in baseball it can.
I mean, that was in his glove for a long time. I think if I was Clint Hurdle, I might, without the transfer rule in effect anymore and common sense being the key to whether it's a catch or not.
And by the way, Nate McLeod thinking, I'll take that double as called by the official score.
Well, I mean, that
extremely well hit ball.
He's run the first thing, and that sums up my season. And now he's thinking, well, maybe my luck is changing.
Here's Trinan, who walked first time. Each pitcher has given the other a headache with a walk. Trinan leading off the third, and then Volquez 2 outs in the third, which led to a run.
So maybe Clint Hurdle didn't burn his challenge because he's thinking the pitcher's up. And what if they decide?
Yeah.
Little does he know that Blake Trinan can hit. Or maybe he does, and he's just taking his chances.
Pirates, by the way, have played 23 one-run games this year. They're 12-11. The Nats have played only 14. They're 6-8. So Clint Hurdle has been involved in some close ball games throughout the early part of the season.
22 one-run games are the most. They have 11 one-run wins. That's the most. They have 11 one-run losses. That's second most. They're 7-15 in games decided by more than 1 run.
In there.
Well, yesterday was a 1-run game as well. So 12, one-run games.
Yeah, even slugfests can be 1-run games, right?
That's a Masson homestand for the Pirates.
2-1. And Treinen unable to make contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But look at the pitch total for Edinson Volquez here in the 4th inning. We just flashed it up there at the end of the pitch. 81 pitches. Desmond led off this inning with an opposite field home run to tie it. Treinen trying to run into one here to give the Nats the lead. He'll chop it out to short. Jordy Mercer. Nats are gone in the top of the 4th. Ian Desmond has now hit safely in 9 of his last 11 games. He's been on base 23 of his last 25. Home run trot after a shot 390 right center. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. And by Flying Buffalo Wild Wings. Give the gift everyone loves. A Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. Nice going, Tape Room. The perfect gift for dads and grads. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
That was fantastic.
Tape Room for you folks at home. Our great guys downstairs will give you all the replays and all the fun little musical highlight packages led by our young phenom, Mike Dressman. Well done, guys. Beautiful night along the banks of the Allegheny and the Roberto Clemente Bridge. One of what they called the Three Sisters identical bridges right up the river here. Built back in the 1920s.
Are you making that up?
No.
Nice.
Took a walk over there today, read the plaque. Marte, Davis, Mercer, bottom of the 4th. You had a nice stroll today.
I did.
We have an injured player next to us, folks.
Man down.
Took a bit of a tumble
Got
today.
Snipered on my jog today. Felt good to have some scabs again, though. I'll tell you what, it's been a while.
And a ball hit the other way.
I mean, the sidewalks in this town look like they had a 6.0 earthquake. They're all over the place. I think I have foot cancer from all the cigarette butts I jogged over.
Wow.
And I think I inhaled a whole pack of cigarettes in secondhand smoke. They like their throat rockets in Pittsburgh.
Other than that, how was your run?
It was good.
On a pitch up, late again, Starling Marte, a guy who can fly. As I mentioned earlier, 41 stolen bases last year, but he led the National League in being caught 15 times. Pirates were a running ball club with power. They stole 94 bases last year, top 5 in the league. They were 3rd in homers. Struck out a lot, but when they got the bat on the ball, they did some damage, and that was just missing from Treinen.
I mean, 1, 2, 3 shut down, and you get your team right back in there. A couple hard hit balls by the Nats in the 4th.
Look at that breaking pitch, just dropped straight down, and that is his first strikeout tonight.
The 2 most important innings for a pitcher is the first inning of the game and the inning after your team scores. So you want to come out and have a closer's mentality in the first inning, go 1, 2, 3. get your team in the dugout to hit, and then the most important inning after that is after your team scores, get them right back in the dugout. So Blake Treinen trying to get his team right back in there.
Ike Davis pulled the ball to Tyler Moore first time. Treinen first 3 innings, 48 pitches. It took him as many to get through the third as it did the first 2. But the out of the game for him, getting Alvarez on a routine fly ball with the bases loaded. That'll be out of play from the bat of Ike Davis. Skips way up into the seats.
All right, fans, tweet your photo right now using hashtag MASSonFanPhotos for a chance to have it shown in a future broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T.
Oh-2, slapped up the middle. That was an off-speed pitch, and Blake left it up a bit. And Ike Davis has the second Pittsburgh hit.
There's so much movement going on with Ike Davis. He can get to off-speed pitches. He's done a nice job for the Pirates. You think it's all he really needs is a change of scenery to get out of New York. But you see the hands kind of moving down and back to up. He's shortened that whole movement that he used to have in New York. It was a nice swing, and he's done a nice job for the Pirates.
Jordy Mercer hit one to Desmond on the ground first time. Solid defensive shortstop. 273 career hitter. And here's another guy who did some damage last year. Hit 285. But right now he's hitting about 70 points lower than that.
He specifically did some damage against the Nats last year.
I remember a home run he hit against Washington that hurt. A couple, huh?
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
Third rounder back in 08. Out of Oklahoma State, where he was an all Big 12 infielder and a pitcher who had 17 saves. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Number 8 man Chris Stewart behind him here in the 4th. Good sinking action there. Rendon over to cut it off, and that got the out. Ike Davis to second base, 2 down.
So when you have a guy that runs pretty quick, you have to charge the ball hard. And when you charge the ball hard, you're at the mercy of the hop that you get when you get there. You can't sit there and stutter step and get a nice hop. So the play right here for Rendon is not as easy as he made it look, because he gets the little short hop. Kind of scooped it up, got it in the web, and exchanged hands and did his normal 97 across the diamond sidearm. But it's not an easy play.
They're going to walk Chris Stewart, first base open, and let Treinen have another go at Volquez. That'll be walk number 3 for Treinen tonight.
I like the move by Matt Williams.
You're going to pitch to a guy who's not paid to hit. If you get out of the inning, all's well, nobody talks about it. If you give up an RBI hit, it really kind of sticks in your mind. But I think it's happened to the Nats once this year. And Matt not taking any chances in a close ball game.
I would do it every single time.
I know you would, and I'm with you on that.
Not 99%, not 99.5%, 100% of the time. With 2 outs, I'm making the pitcher beat me. And Dusty Baker and I've said it before, we used to get into arguments about it, friendly arguments, but he'd say, FP, I want 2 outs the next inning. I want, you know, I want a 2-out inning with the pitcher leading off, so I'm going to go after the 8-hole guy because he's the weakest hitter in the lineup, and I want the next inning to be an easy one for my pitcher. And I would say, well, Bake, what if he gets a hit? Going back to Felipe, one guy's paid to hit, one guy isn't.
Well, trying to walk Volquez with 2 outs last inning, nobody on. Hadn't even given up a base runner to that point. It led to a run, and there's a chopper, no balls, 2 strikes. It led to a run because the next couple hitters did their jobs. Harrison base hit, Walker a good at bat. And then on the first pitch, Trinan hit Andrew McCutchen with a changeup before Alvarez hit a fly ball, an easy one to Span. That will end the inning. Leadoff men will be leading off in the 5th. Span, Harrison a little later. Denard 0 for 1 with a walk.
Fifth inning. Time for your Cox game summary. Cox delivering life's most important connections, and we'll go over the scoring and how we got to a 1-1 game. And we go back to the 3rd inning. Andrew McCutchen, bases loaded. He gets hit. Could have been a lot worse, right? Young pitcher out there, 2nd major league start. What does he do? He gets Pedro Alvarez to fly out softly to Denard Span in center field. So good damage control by Trinan after it looked like the wheels had a chance to come off, and then Ian Desmond answered right back, leading off the 4th inning with his 8th home run of the year, an opposite field job, and yeah, Jose Lobaton, helmet taker offer guy. That's where we're at, 1-1.
Night falling here, twilight time arriving in Pittsburgh at 8:38 local. Beautiful Thursday night. Tomorrow, Jordan Zimmerman for the Nats against Charlie Morton, who was once traded for Nate McLouth. And then Strasburg and Garrett Cole in the marquee matchup of the series. Fox game Saturday night. So it'll be a 4-game stay here in Pittsburgh. Denard Span, bouncer to short, and a walk in the 3rd.
Ike Davis playing very deep. If Span can bring one with him, he has a chance for a base hit bunt.
He's going to creep up just a little, but he's still a good, well, now creeping in with the pitch.
But you know what? And you remember when Adam LaRoche was up here? You want the first baseman to come in. You want to draw him in because you want to bunt it past him. So, and make the second baseman field it.
Let's see where Volquez falls off here too, FP.
That's why LaRoche says I go right to the bag and I talk to my second baseman that, hey, you got the bunt. And I used to tell first baseman, I got the bunt, you go to the bag.
Volquez on his follow through doesn't really fall off dramatically to one side or the other. Sometimes a hitter can take advantage of that, a bunter.
That's where you want to bunt it, that direction, kind of right in this area right there. Make the second baseman field it.
1-1, fifth inning underway. He's been struggling with that changeup all night. Laid one down, straight back it went. Strike two.
That was to Pedro Alvarez at third. Lows never stop improving. And check out the numbers on an art span.
Wow. 76 points higher. On base percentage up. More than double the extra base hits, and we're only on the 22nd of May.
9 knocks in your last 3 games will do that to your numbers, especially this early in the season.
Not to mention the jolt to your confidence. 2-2. Span will chop that breaking ball. That hit his foot, so it's a foul ball.
So are they going shift right now? The 2 strikes with Denard?
Here they go again.
I'm bunting.
Not as much as they did on Espinosa.
Still bunting.
Pretty sure Edinson Volquez isn't going to run 30 feet over to his right and throw you out.
That's a little different where Alvarez just got to. And it is kind of scary bunting with 2 strikes, but.
Sixth inning at Atlanta now. Brewers 3, Braves 1. Milwaukee trying to gain a split in that 4-game series. 1-1 here, top of the 5th. 2-2 on Span leading off. Got a fastball, popped it up. Volquez got him on the hands, caught by Pedro Alvarez for the first out.
The Nationals would like to recognize and thank all 2014 first-time plan holders. Thank you very much. National season plan holders are an integral piece of the franchise and important to the success of the team. We welcome you to the Nationals family and hope you enjoy the season, and we'll show you the secret handshake when we get home.
First pitch, Rendon up the middle. To his left, Jordy Mercer. Pretty smooth. 2 outs. Going to bring in Jason Worth. And Volquez looking for a quick inning. He had thrown 80 pitches in the first 4 tonight. Worth absolutely gashed one to center last time, and McCutchen went back to keep it from flying to the wall.
Best swing I've seen Jason Worth take in about a week. Rick Shue calls it stack and jack, to where you stand tall, stack your body straight up and down, and really get on top of the baseball, and that's when Jason Worth's at his best.
Got a good piece of that one. Not enough. Short of the track, Josh Harrison. And Volquez gets a quick top of the 5th. Halfway through in Pittsburgh. Top of their order coming up in a 1-1 game. It all ends up with the great Clemente and his bridge here outside PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Bottom of the 5th inning, Honda has the Pirate due-up inning. And what they've done this month, Josh Harrison, leadoff guy, he's been good. Neil Walker has hit 9 home runs this year, and Andrew McCutchen is heating things up. He's on a 4-game hitting streak coming into this one. Harrison, clean base hit left field last time, and he was diving a bit, and Trinan stood him straight up. First 4 innings for Blake, 67 pitches, 43 strikes. 2 walks plus an intentional one and a hit batter, adding some pitches to his count tonight. Well, you just don't want to walk guys in front of McCutchen. He's gone 3-0 here on Harrison.
We kind of aimed that one. That's the lowest velocity I've seen all night from Trinan at 92.
Be committed to every pitch, right?
He just tried to throw a strike. Let it rip.
Wow. A fastball that usually is automatic, called ball 4. 4th walk. Let's see what the Nissan pitch track thinks. Close. Rules have been known to be a little different for rookies early in their big league careers. Rulings, rules, calls. Here's Neil Walker. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Good heater there.
Well, his velocity's down this inning. That was 92 again.
First 2 pitches of the game were 96, 97.
Keep an eye on that. That wasn't the case against the Dodgers. He kept his velocity was up all night. 96, 97.
Had 9 strikeouts and 2 walks coming into this game. Well hit, center field, span under it, about 5 feet in front of the wall. Here comes the runner. Good throw, but just too far to throw. And a good read by Josh Harrison to get to scoring position with 1 out.
Well, that pitch was 93 miles an hour as well. That was elevated. Neil Walker got all of it. Good base running play by Josh Harrison to tag up. He saw that Denard Span was going to be camped. He scrambled back to the base and he advanced. Heads up play by Harrison, but this pitch right here, 93 miles an hour. And the difference between 97 and 93 for a hitter is huge. I mean, when you talk about feet per second and the decision, making process up there.
McCutchen right through the middle. Pirates are going to have the lead. And in this ballpark, he's now driven in 17 career runs against the Nats.
Well, give that one to Josh Harrison. That's just good baseball by the Pirates leadoff hitter. Yeah, McCutchen did the finishing product by a base hit up the middle, line drive, but that's all on Josh Harrison. Nice job of leading off, getting on base, tagging up, advancing on the deep fly ball, and scoring on the McCutchen knock. It's good baseball.
2 RBIs tonight, 23 on the season. Last year, McCutchen stole 27 bases in 37 attempts. Alvarez, first pitch swinging. FP, I just want to go back a second and ask you a question about that situation. Harrison got the second, 1 out. I know there's still only 1 out. The first base is open when you're facing McCutchen. What would your approach normally be then?
You mean as a defense?
Pitcher, you go after him, you work carefully with first base open, or do you not want to walk a guy maybe and then put an extra guy aboard? because he was jumping on that first pitch, which was a strike.
Well, I think when you have a hot hitter like McCutchen, you 0-2 him, and what I mean by that is you pitch him like from the very first pitch, it's an 0-2 count. You try to make the perfect pitch, and if he wants to force the issue and chase, well, that's fine. But if he doesn't, you just keep 0-2ing him, and if he walks, he walks. But with a left-hander and Alvarez behind him, I mean, there's a guy with 8 home runs on deck that's a cleanup hitter, so it's not that clear-cut. It would seem to be, by the way McCutchen's played against the Nationals throughout his career, that it is.
Okay.
But you try to make the perfect pitch. Sometimes for a younger pitcher, that's not easy. Veteran guys, it is, because throughout their career, they know how to throw balls. When you're younger, you're really concentrating and focused on throwing strikes. The older you get, you learn how to bounce pitches. You learn what you need to do to put one on the plate, maybe bounce one down the way. But at a young age, you're just focusing on throwing strikes.
That's what you've been told your entire life.
Yes.
That's how you get to the big leagues, right? All right, nice.
It's a good question.
Swing and a foul.
It's a good question.
Alvarez twice to center, once real deep left center, and then medium to Span with the bases loaded 2 innings ago. McCutchen this year stealing 6 for 6. Something off speed on 1 and 2. He might be running. Yes, he is. Swing and a foul tip for a strikeout. Throw short. Desmond trying to come forward and somehow scoop the ball and make the tag. So McCutchen steals, but Trinan does get the out.
I think a good throw might have had him. Easy to say when you got a lot of traffic, a swing and a miss for Wilson Ramos, but he got rid of this throw very quickly. Watch the release from Ramos. Boom, boom. And I think Desmond just saw that it was going to be short and tried to field it before it hopped.
McCutchen, 7th steal of the year. Pirates with their 33rd. They're in the middle of the league in stolen bases. Here's Starling Marte. Goes up hacking after striking out swinging last time. Strokes one to right center on a breaking ball away. Good pitch. Worth grabs it. Pirates take the lead with a walk to Harrison leading off the inning. Long fly ball, base hit McCutchen. The Nats have Ramos straight ahead. Nationals history, 2010, June 8th. The Battling Buccos in Washington. And his debut came 1 day shy of the 1-year anniversary of him being drafted by the Nats. 7 dazzling, dominant innings. 14 Pirates went down swinging.
Every time we show this, I've seen it 8 billion times.
96 pitches, by the way.
Sorry, Tom Hellian's strikeout calls the best.
I love it. By the way, only 2 pitchers ever struck out more in their MLB debuts. J.R. Richard back in '71 against the Giants, and Carl Spooner of the Brooklyn Dodgers in '54 against the Giants with 15 Ks. What a debut that was against the guys from this town.
Well, he loves pitching against the Pirates.
There's Wilson Ramos, 1 for 2 with a base hit the other way and a bouncing ball to third. 90th pitch by Edinson Volquez. That one hit hard. Harrison is going to take away extra bases.
Wow.
What do you have to do to get an outfield line drive to fall in somewhere?
Well, that's a utility guy. That's a guy who plays everywhere. Not an everyday right fielder, just selling out. What a play by Josh Harrison. Look at that. On the fly, leaving his feet, do or die, and it was almost by him.
Yeah, he caught it behind him.
Watch him reach for that ball as it goes right across his eye level. And what does Volquez think?
Muy bien. Desmond went that way last time, but it was uncatchable. Oh, you know, Josh Harrison can fly that way in more ways than one.
Having a good ball game. The walk, the tag up, the run scored. Now that play taking at least a double away from Ramos. Holding his arm there.
Travis Wilson, that go sit next to Jason Worth right now. Either that or keep them as far apart as possible.
Well, a couple of good swings from Ramos, though.
1-1 Dewey and Desmond. And a breaking ball had him committing. Strike 2.
Yeah. I mean, you see the angle he dove at. He dove toward the gap in right center field, toward the 375 sign to create space as he gets a tip of the cap from this pitcher to make that play.
And a 1-2. Desmond strikes out. Edinson Volquez, third strikeout of the game. 2 outs in the 6th. Nats box score. Leadoff hit by Ramos, going that way in the 2nd. Later, Moore reached on an error, 2 stranded. And then the Desmond homer leading off the 4th. In that inning, later a double by McLeod, dropped by McCutchen. 6 batters in a row since for Edinson Volquez. Drops a breaking ball on Tyler Moore. Front door for a strike. I don't think Tyler liked that call.
Well, you think of the right-handers tonight and what they've done to be successful against Volquez. And that's go the other way. Ramos went the other way for the first hit of the game. Jason Worth has hit a couple of hard balls. One to center field, one to right. That Ramos swing again. The Desmond home run was opposite field to right center. Even Nate McLeod going the other way left-handed. Danny Espinosa did hit a bullet pull side, but when you have a guy like Volquez, it's primarily staying away. The game plan is to go up the middle and the other way.
1-2. And Volquez pulling out the hooks in the 6th inning. Nats go in order. Blake Trinan back to work again. 6, 7, and 8. Harrison saves at least 2 bags. Blake Trinan back to the mound for his 6th inning of work. And you can kind of imagine what we get to turn around and see behind us here. Unbelievable from this vantage point. And a good ball game. Well pitched on both sides, really.
It has been well played. I mean, Josh Harrison doing it all for the Pirates. I'm a little concerned about Blake Trinan's velocity right now. He went from 97-98 to 92-93 last inning. The Pirates hit him hard, so he's back on the mound to start this one up to the bottom of the 6th. So Mike Davis going to lead it off for the Pirates. And that's a big drop when you're talking 5-6 miles an hour throughout the course of a game. I thought it was just on that 2-0 pitch to throw a strike, but it was all last inning, 91-94, when he was sitting 95-98 in the first 4 innings.
Ike Davis, bottom 6. Well, we're not hoping for a similar scenario, but FP, to your credit, last weekend you were the first one who kind of saw what was going on with Gio and that curveball. You know, the lack of snap to it, just kind of rolling in there. And unfortunately, we found out later on there was a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's an injury thing. I think he's gassed. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. That even though he's thrown this many pitches, and it's not that much.
Change up there. Ike Davis with a base hit up the middle last time.
There's 96.
$80 pitches, 51 strikes in 5 innings. Ike Davis, still just 27 years of age, been in the big leagues since 2010, hit only .205 for the Mets last year. Played in 103 games and was off to an okay start this year, and they decided to not have any split time at first base anymore and sent him over here. And of course the Mets these days using Lucas Duda at first base. Pirates box score, hit by pitch, McCutchen with the bases loaded in the 3rd. That damaging walk to Volquez got him there. And then the McCutchen base hit up the middle, 5th inning. So if you just tuned in, okay, the guy's got 2 RBIs. And he does that to the Nats in this ballpark regularly. Although tonight it's with a changeup that hit him and a single up the middle.
He does it in Nats Park, too. It doesn't matter where. They could play out in the parking lot and he'd do it.
And a bouncer. Trinan redirects it. So Espinosa reaching to his left while running to his right. 1-4-3. Here we go with our next 5. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Jordan Zimmerman, Charlie Morton. 7 o'clock on Fox, featuring an analyst some of you know, with Strasburg and Garrett Cole Saturday. And then Doug Fister, Francisco Liriano in a 1:35 first pitch Monday. And then the Marlins are in for a day game Monday and a night game Tuesday.
I'm cheating on you Saturday. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to do something I haven't done in 15 years.
I am excited about that for you.
I'm going to sit downstairs and watch a baseball game with my wife.
It's awesome. It really is.
It's been a long time.
Are you going to say see you later when you see home runs?
I'm going to see if she says it.
She just might. And not when there's a home run.
She will be shocked when she sees what I eat during a ball game.
My money's on a hot dog.
0-2 pitch. And Trinan goes with the breaking ball in the dirt. But other than Nats Park, this is where I'd want to do that.
Absolutely.
So
a little bit jealous.
And what a pitching matchup with Strasburg and Cole that night. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 93 in the dirt. Ramos picked it, 2 outs. Strikeout number 4 for Blake Trinan, and Mercedes will track it.
93 in the dirt, but split action to it. So the velocity not where it was early, but the movement every bit of where it was early. Look at that. 93 miles an hour. Mercer over the top. Good pitch.
Next up, number 8 man Chris Stewart. Treinen due to bat third in the top of the 7th, so this could be it for him. He's had 91 pitches unofficially outside. 92 officially now. One walk to the pitcher caused a weird inning back in the 3rd. Three and 0. Pitcher on deck. Then Steve McCatty talking to the bullpen about getting ready for the bottom of the 7th.
Or maybe the bottom of the 6th. Never know.
Yeah. Well, Drew Storen hasn't pitched in a couple days. Tyler Clippard got a little action last night.
Aaron Barrett
is up and firing. That's a high riding strike.
He just rung him up on strike 2. Did you see that? Tim Welke just rung up Chris Stewart on strike 2. That was a very emphatic strike 2 call if you heard it.
Well, he wasn't given the low strike earlier, so that's a good thing to see that. And that is a little high. And Blake Treinen will walk his 4th batter unintentionally tonight. For the Achiever and You, PNC Bank with our minor league report and the first rounder from 2012 out of Harvard Westlake California High School, Lucas Giolito. Still just 19, hot prospect, 6'6", 225. Not getting a lot of decisions, but the ERA's good. Strikeouts more than 1 per inning, and the league hitting only 186 against him at Hagerstown. So there's Aaron Barrett up and throwing.
Little 20-second timeout from Steve McCatty. Get his big right-hander loose just in case Blake Treinen doesn't retire. Travis Snyder. It's been extremely impressive, huh? The first 2 times we've seen him.
Travis Snyder for the Pirates here for Volquez, who has thrown 98 pitches. So he gives the Nats 1 run on only 3 hits in 6 innings. Struck out 4. 2 walks. They were kind of early. And here's Travis Snyder. '26-year-old outfielder, left-handed batter. Goes up packing like a lot of pinch hitters do. And Snyder, as a pinch batter this year, pretty good. 4 for 13 with a home run, 4 RBIs. He's late again. Runner at first, 2 down. 1-run game, bottom 6. And a fastball up. one tough third out to get here. And he goes changeup. 2-2.
Boy, when you see a guy late on the fastball like Snyder's been at 92, 93, you can get in on him if you want to right here in a 2-strike count, meaning the fastball in place, especially with the sink that Trinan's had all night.
He goes heater, gets a high chopper. Here comes Desmond, deflects off his glove, and then over to third base, Chris Stewart. That was do or die for Ian Desmond. Base hit all the way. And now Matt Williams has a decision.
Well, you could actually give Desmond an error on the fact that Stewart advanced to third base after it hit his glove. You could score that a hit and an error if you want to, because right here he's making a do or die play. That's on the hitter, but the fact that it hit his glove, I don't think they'll do that. That would be a tough call, but Stewart advances to third base, and now Matt Williams going to go double switch Kevin Franzen into the game at first base.
5 2/3 now for Blake Trinan. Cruising for almost 3 innings. A walk to the pitcher was a major pain for him, and he really battled well, though. This call to the bullpen packaged by the UPS Store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics. Aaron Barrett on the way. Well, coming off the field, Blake Trinan, conversation with Steve McCatty. 5 walks tonight. Now 4 of them were unintentional. 1 was intentional. And really not that many balls hard hit, but command was a problem at times.
Well, you give up 2 runs in a major league game, you should probably win that major league game. So for your second major league start, you saw why Randy Knorr came over and gave Blake Trinan the high five. That's a heck of an outing. I mean, he did a whale of a job.
And it's interesting that on that last play, they didn't give Snyder a hit and add an error by Desmond for the runner going to third. They just said E6 all the way. Kind of a strange call for a home player not to get a hit on that.
Well, that's just wrong.
Kevin Franzen on a double switch at first base. Top of the order, Josh Harrison, and a big out for Aaron Barrett to get as the Pirates see him for the first time. Slider way outside.
So they're saying that's a routine play, and Ian Desmond should have made it.
Yeah, that's got to be a hit.
I mean,
and then if you have to give an error for Stewart going to third, that's one thing.
That'll get changed.
Pirates are going to talk about that with their guy Travis Snyder not getting a hit. That was close, and the Nats are out of the inning. So Trinan has a pretty good night. Barrett gets a big out. A lot of baseball left in Pittsburgh tonight. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Seventh inning at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. On Thursday, June 5th, Nats Phillies, 4 o'clock, plain white tees. Kick off the Nats Live free post-game concert series presented by Travel Channel. Now, the concert is free, but you must have a ticket for June 5 Nats Phils. 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Nats Live. Junmar Gomez for the Pirates here in the top of the seventh inning. 13th appearance, 24 innings, 16 Ks. ERA not that great, kind of hittable so far. 12 runs, 26 hits in those 24 innings.
I gave up a 2-run homer to Chris Davis on Tuesday. And the batting average against .292. So fastball, slider, changeup, the repertoire. Fastball 89, slider 81, changeup 82.
34 games, 8 starts for the Bucks last year when he had a .335 ERA. Only 2 Nats have faced him in their career, Span and Dobbs. So here's Danny Espinosa. Top of the 7th, strike 1.
Check out this note, Carp. He surrendered 7 home runs in 8 games at PNC this year. That's in 15 2/3. So doesn't like to pitch in his own ballpark, and all runs coming by way of 5 home runs allowed. So he's given up the tater this year.
That's a pretty good changeup moving away from Espinosa. Simply means he's been getting too much of the plate. Now they've changed that call. They have given Snyder a hit, and then they assess the error for the runner to go to third, and we're surprised it took this long. Oh-2 to Danny. I'm just staying alive by flipping it over the other way. Inside the numbers with Jeep. After the 6th inning, the Nats still have the best plus run differential in the major leagues. It's time.
That's why you never turn off a Nats game. The best part's 7, 8, 9.
Ooh, high heat, close. Heard it go by.
Well, he ain't going to move Danny Espinosa. You can throw it inside. He'll wear it. But he's definitely not going to move ever. Doesn't care. Two-one game, 7th inning.
And a good take on a ball diving down and in. Gomez, just 26 years of age, from Caracas, Venezuela. With Cleveland for parts of 3 years. They signed him back in 05, and the Pirates got him from the Tribe January 9th of last year for minor league outfielder Quincy Lattimore. And then, as I said, he made 8 starts here, 34 appearances overall. 2-2. Had him reaching. He threw Danny Espinosa 2 good changeups in that at bat. Nate McLouth coming in 1 for 2 tonight. Dan Kolko has more.
Guys, McLeod's come around a little bit offensively the last 10 days or so. Still not where he wants it. I talked to him today about his offensive approach, and he's kind of opened up his stance a little bit. He was unintentionally closing his stance dating back to spring training, according to hitting coach Rick Shue. But he says more than that, his timing isn't really quite where he wants it yet. He wants to hit the ball to the pull side. That's where he has his power. He doesn't want to focus on that because then he'll have trouble.
Race to the bag here. He's going to get there, even if that ball is handled. And Nate McLouth bunts his way on.
But that's what I'm talking about. When you make the first baseman field the bunt when you bring it with you, that's when you know you got a chance of being safe. And that's why usually you see the first baseman go to the bag. So if you can get him to come in and field it, now you got a chance because there's going to be a fire drill at the bag with the second baseman covering, the pitcher covering. So it's a great bunt by McLouth, and as soon as Ike Davis comes in to get that, you know McLouth's safe. That's why Adam LaRoche told us in the booth the other day that he tells the second baseman, I'm going to the bag, you field it. Great bunt by McLouth.
That was interesting. Ike Davis just kind of threw it to anybody who might be interested. And it was Neil Walker grabbing it for a second, but the pitcher got his way. And McLouth was beyond the bag already. So Nate has a 2-hit night. And here's Kevin Franzen for the first time.
Well, I also kind of adding on to what Dan said, told Nate before the game today that even though Kiri by Mr. Mister has been his walk-up song for a long time, that if he goes Spandau Ballet True next homestand, he will rake, and he's thinking about it. So, you know, stuff like that is very important.
I tell you, your mentorship to these hitters has been amazing.
Well, he listened to it and he liked it. You know, these kids don't know these 80s songs like I do. So,
don't tell them to come looking for me. They'll be playing the Beatles.
Well, it turned Josh Reddick's season around when he changed his walk-up song.
Franzen in a game situation suddenly. Just came in on a double switch. Takes it over but low. A lot of room right side as Davis holds McLouth. You know, Walker's going to be cheating up the middle with Mercer for a double play ball.
Boy, McLeod's trying to get a jump. I'm watching him over there. Trying to time it. He's a timing guy.
I'm also watching the right fielder Josh Harrison playing pretty shallow on the offside over there. So a base hit through the right side does not guarantee McLouth would go to third.
He'll get an initial lead, then he'll just kind of inch out there a little bit more. And now he's trying to time you. See, he's a rhythm guy. Just gets his feet moving, gets his feet moving. If they're moving at the right time and you go to the plate, he just keeps on rolling. Pretty good percentage.
Yeah, he's always been good at that. Franzen hits a tailor-made double play ball to Jordy Mercer. And the Nats are gone to get this game to the 7th inning stretch. Pirates turn their 37th of the year. It's the Hyundai 7th inning stretch. Looks like the ballpark's below the river, doesn't it? Part of it is. Time to stretch, and the Bucks lead the Nats 2-1.
Lumber to talk about tonight, but there's some leather we can show you. How about Josh Harris? Just a warm-up. That was an appetizer, some calamari right there for Josh Harrison. This is a nice play by Denard Span. So here's the main course, I think. No, this is McCutchen. First McCutchen. It's a nice play. Jason Worth hit the tar out of that ball. And this is the one. You'll see this one all night long. Josh Harrison just totally selling out in right center field in a one-run ball game. Great play, and then he just lays there. So some leather being thrown here at PNC tonight.
Yeah, and that was Ramos leading off the 6th. Here we are, bottom 7. Walker, McCutchen, Alvarez. And an inning of experience to be gained here for Aaron Barrett. Got the ground ball to Harrison to end the 6th. Neil Walker, a walk between a ground ball and a fly.
Where is it? I think they're still looking.
0-2. Target up and in.
It's a good pitch. Good 0-2 pitch. Make the hitter move his feet. Now you go nuclear slider. Let's see if he does.
There it is. Nothing you can do with that except pound it right into the ground. Neil Walker hangs tough. They are in the 7th at Atlanta. Braves batting, trailing Milwaukee 4-2. Well hit center. And Neil Walker on for the 2nd time tonight. That'll get Aaron Barrett off the stretch against Andrew McCutchen. Let's go inside the numbers with Jeep. On base percentage. Since the start of the 2012 season, Jason Worth's been up there over 400 a few times. McCutchen at 406. This season, he's over 445.
That's a big boy list right there.
Yeah. Those are the guys who spend a lot of time on their feet during a ball game.
And they also spend a lot of time in their 20,000 square foot houses. those are big numbers.
But I remember Barry Bonds talking about that late in his career. Walking so much, high on base percentage, on his feet constantly, offensively and defensively. McCutchen. And takes the slider 2-0. The Nats just have not been able to find a way to pitch this guy.
He's just so dangerous. I mean, used to say, throw Vladimir Guerrero right down the middle and hope he hits it at somebody. Same with Tony Gwynn. But I think if you do that with McCutchen, he'll hurt you.
Yeah, you're not going to get it back.
And Vladdy was such a good bad ball hitter that he sometimes would struggle with the pitch right down the middle and roll over to shortstop. But McCutchen, it's not the case. He can hurt you in so many different ways. Hits the ball with power to all fields. Got a great eye at the plate. He can hurt you on the bases. And he's a great defender. True 5-tool guy.
3rd All-Star game last year. 2nd Silver Slugger. Won the MVP. Ripping on 3-0. Aired it out right there. And he's 27 years of age. Great athlete in high school. Baseball, football, track. He ran the relay. Right in there. Good fastball. 94. Fills the count.
Man, nice pitch. Started it off the plate away. Ran it back to the corner. You talk about locating a 3-1 fastball against a good hitter. That's perfect.
Nissan tracks it right to the outside edge.
Go 3-2 slider.
Walker running. Slider, ball 4.
Or he didn't even come close to biting at that.
Yeah, if he guessed right, and that's a pretty good hit right there. 2 on, nobody out. Pedro Alvarez.
Not the toughest take for McCutchen because it came out of Barrett's hand low. And as a hitter, when you see the ball low and the rotation, so low plus rotation, and you know the break of the slider, you know it's going to be out of the zone. The tough one is when it starts in the strike zone and you see the rotation, you don't know where it's going to end up.
Rolls the slider to the inside corner. Alvarez 0 for 3, 2 fly balls to Span, 1 very deep. And Trinan struck him out in the 5th. Close to the outside corner, didn't get the call. And Alvarez, a mile high. Kevin Franzen, infield fly rule in effect. 2 men aboard, less than 2 outs. And next up will be Starling Marte as Barrett gets a big out.
That was 86 miles an hour, and I think Barrett threw one earlier in the count. Might have been a changeup. We've seen him at fastball sliders so far this year. He does have a changeup, and that was it. 86 changeup, and it got Alvarez out in front and popped him up. The first time this year I've seen him throw it consistently to the same hitter. So nice job by Aaron Barrett. And Steve McCatty going to have a chat with his right-hander right here and go over a little strategy as they face Marte. Marte, a first pitch fastball guy, a guy that's not going to take a lot of pitches. And I think you definitely start him up with a slider as you look at Ross Detweiler getting loose in the Nats bullpen.
He sure did a good job of selling that off speed with the motion. Looked like he was coming with a fastball. So Marte 0 for 3 stepping in. Well, big inning here. Nats have the top of the order due up in the 8th.
First pitch slider.
Yeah, Marte completely fooled.
I mean, he's swinging. He's swinging right now, and he's going to swing at the next pitch and the next one. That's just his MO. A guy that strikes out a lot, but when he puts the ball in play, gets hits. It's a guy that struck out 53 times in 167 at-bats. So guess what he's getting right here? Another slider because he's swinging. Here comes a swing, and he's swinging already for the next pitch.
That is a lot of strikeouts.
And I will say this, a swinging bat's a dangerous bat. If you make a mistake, you can run into his barrel, and he's a guy that's got some pop and all the tools off the chart. He just has to reel in the strike zone, and when he does, he's as good as anybody.
Don't have to throw him a strike to get him out. And a foul tip.
He's going to swing again.
Only 2 guys, by the way, in the league have struck out more than him, and they're both in the same family.
He's swinging right now, trust me. But I will say this, back to your point, Carp, about what you do with McCutchen in that situation with first base open. This is what you do. These are all 0-2 pitches. You don't have to throw a strike, and if McCutchen would have forced the issue, then you try to get him out. But right now, what Aaron Barrett is doing to Starling Marte is 0-2 in him, meaning every pitch is an 0-2 pitch.
Nice. 86 away, 2 outs. It's one of the best matchups of Aaron Barrett's young career right there.
Well, he did a nice job of everything off the plate. If you're going to force the issue and you want to swing, I'm not going to throw you a strike, or I'm at least going to try not to throw you a strike. And it also gets back to a young pitcher being able to throw balls. That's very impressive by Aaron Barrett right there. Knowing how to throw the slider off the plate for a ball, that's advanced stuff.
2 on. They were there with nobody out. Now 2 outs. And Ike Davis, the hitter, 1 for 3 with a base hit up the middle. Right at Kevin Franzen. He grabs it, heads for the dugout, and so do the Nats. Denard Span, followed by Anthony Rendon and Jason Worth. 1-run game, top 8 ahead.
The top of the 8th inning. Let's show you the pitcher's duel that this game turned out to be tonight. First, Edinson Volquez did a nice job coming off a rough outing against the Yankees where he gave up 5 runs. Cincinnati against the Nats gave up just 1, a solo shot to Ian Desmond. But his off speed was good late in the count. Good curveball down in the zone. But I was very impressed once again with the effort of Blake Treinen. His stuff plays at this level, no doubt about it. And he's going to win a lot of games as a major league starter. I know there's a lot of people saying, well, his stuff plays as a reliever because he's a 2-pitch guy, but he's got 3+ pitches. The fastball, the slider, and the changeup. And if he stays in this rotation, he could be just fine. He's a major leaguer, there's no doubt.
New pitcher for the Pirates. Veteran left-hander Tony Watson, 67 games last year and a 2.39 ERA, 68 games the year before that. So this season, appearance number 22. He's right up there with Tyler Clippard and some of the other league leaders in appearances. 29 Ks in 21 innings.
Yeah, 93 to 95 on the fastball, slider 81, changeup 86.
Denard Span is 1 for 2 career against him with a walk. And here we go, top of the 8th. On the grass at third, Alvarez. And Span was trying to slap it right by him.
Well, this is the inning, top of the order, down by 1. Your leadoff hitter's up, 8th inning. I would say the save is right here, right now for the Pirates. "11 straight scoreless appearances for Watson.
Span a chopper. Charging Mercer on the run. 1 out.
The Peanuts are your summer home for the future stars of the Washington Nationals. There are plenty of promotions at the Fitz, including fireworks night, bobbleheads each month, kids eat free Sundays, $1 Mondays. You can eat kids for free on Sundays too. Go to PotomacNationals.com or call 703-590-2311.
So that's it for the rodeo?
Yeah, no more rodeo, just eat kids for free.
Anthony Rendon 0 for 3.
You put ranch dressing on them, it's fantastic.
Oh, boy. Rendon's faced Watson once with a base hit.
A big gap in left center field, right?
It is big.
Especially with a left-hander who maybe this is what Rendon needs.
That thing out there says triple right now.
It does.
Seems to me like Anthony's taking a lot of strikes these days that he was being pretty aggressive with earlier. And getting to a lot of 2-strike counts. Just a little in between. Crafty lefty, Tony Watson, and he's got some gas to go with it. 93 for the strikeout. The Nationals have had 1 hit since the 4th inning tonight.
Caitlin, Amber, and Brittany, there they are from Fairfax. There's your AT&T fan photo.
Caitlin, Amber, Brittany. I'd say in today's world,
It's
you've
close.
got a good shot at having at least 1 or 2 of those.
I think I nailed it, actually, maybe, sort of. Maybe it'll be the rally girls right here for a couple of runs. Let's see.
Worth 0 for 3, strikeout, line out to center, fly ball to right. Worth has never hit against Tony Watson. 2-0. He'll take 85 off speed. Worth looking for the old express. Got the local. Couldn't pull the trigger.
No doubles defense by the Pirates. They're deeper than deep in the outfield.
Wow. Ball 3. The way Wilson Ramos has been swinging the bat, you'd love to see Worth aboard for him.
Well, you'd also love to see Worth get a pitch right here and let it fly.
Desmond earlier tonight on a 2-0 count. Here's Worth on 3-1. Not even close. He's aboard with 2 outs. And then Wilson Ramos, 1 for 2 career against Watson coming on. Base hit to right field, leading off the second. Bounce it to third to end the third. And then just gashed one to the gap in right center, and Josh Harrison just robbed him. That was leading off in the 6th.
Well, here's your cleanup hitter. Runner on, down by 1. That's what Matt Williams wants.
Ramos the other way for another hit. First and second, 2 down.
Oh, whatever happens tonight with this ball game, the Buffalo looked good at the plate. Second hit lined out to right was robbed by Josh Harrison, so very easy. Could have had 3 hits tonight, and the ball coming off his bat hard again.
He's getting closer to 200, and then he'll go from there.
He's one of those guys, a lot like Pudge Rodriguez, that likes the ball in the inner half to go the other way with the inside out swing. He feels more comfortable like that, and if you hang something, he'll pull you out of the ballpark. But another good at bat.
Must be a catcher thing, huh? They sit behind the plate all night and see things happening. They have an understanding of that. Now the pitcher spot is on deck.
It might be because Russell Martin has a very similar swing.
And left-handed killer Scott Hairston is the man waiting. Do the Pirates not have anybody warming up? Their bullpen's about 600 feet from us. And here's Ian Desmond, what he did leading off the 4th.
Yeah, strong man going the other way, right center field, about the third row back. And he just got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up. And you see where that one was. The last one was at the top of the zone, maybe just a hair high.
Desmond 0 for 2 career against Watson.
He just needs a base hit right here.
Yeah, they're playing so deep. Worth would score. One thing about this ballpark, you can play your right fielder shallower than the others, only 320 down the line. And ball 2, that was close. Watson thought he had a run back fastball there.
Well, Watson turned up the volume too. Game on the line, 95 miles an hour. I love the straight over the shot, straight over the pitcher shot from center field. You can really see that that ball was inside.
Yeah, great call by Tim Welke. Ball didn't have the run on it. We thought it might. Then Desmond takes ball 3.
Changeup.
And I got to tell you, I'm surprised the Pirates don't have any right-handers throwing with a guy like Hairston up next.
Well, this is their 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
He's been fantastic.
Mark Melanson, their closer, 7 saves and 9 attempts with Jason Grilli on the DL with a bad left oblique. On a pitch up, Desmond had a take at it.
That's
just couldn't get over the top.
That's letting it loose. 3-1 right there. Watch this hack by Ian Desmond. Slow feet, quick hands. Maybe just a little bit too hard, but wow, 95, you got to gear up. It sounds like he's throwing a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It's got some hair on it.
(3-2). Runners on the move in a 1-run game. Here's it out again.
Chris Stewart going to go out there and have a talk with his left-hander and ask him if he feels comfortable going fastball here at 3-2, or would he like to go change up. And with the wily veteran Jason Worth on second base, I think they're going to go no sign right here. We'll take a look. Up and in, top of the strike zone at 95. Those are tough to get on top of. See if they use a sign here at all, or they just talked about it. Here we go. No sign.
Bases loaded. A walk to Worth. A Ramos hit. A walk to Desmond. And here comes Scott Hairston.
Remember Scott's last at bat? It was a 2-strike pitch from Aroldis Chapman, and he hit it deep to left field for a sacrifice fly to tie the game up. So he's feeling confident right now off the hard-thrown lefty.
Scott Hairston career against Tony Watson, 1 for 2, and yeah, it was a home run. Batting for Aaron Barrett, who went an inning and a third, gave up a walk and a hit, but got a strikeout and kept this a 2-1 game. Well, Hairston's been great since coming back off the DL. Overall, as a pinch hitter, 2 for 4 with an RBI. 7 for 16 with 2 doubles, 2 batted in since coming off the disabled list May 5th.
Get a good pitch, put a good swing on it, see what happens. Tardy right there.
Yeah. Pitch up, 94. Ballpark quiet. 2-1 game, 8th inning. Watson missing a lot high.
Well, he really doesn't have his release point. He's late. He's letting go of the ball a little too deep, not out in front. Thus you see him up and away to righties. Definitely a guy you got to zone down.
Hairston got a pitch up, and he skies it short left center. Jordy Mercer. And the Nats are going to strand their 4th, 5th, and 6th runners of the night. Still held at bay by the Pirates. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by our Washington BMW centers. Tastiest donut I've ever seen. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Nats on the short end of a 2-1 score. Not able to get much going offensively.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. In the deciding moment in this game, Andrew McCutcheon in the 5th inning, base it up the middle. That scored Josh Harrison, who was heads up, tagged on a long fly ball off the bat of Neil Walker. Advanced for the reigning MVP, and he picked him up.
So now the call goes to Ross Detweiler with some Pittsburgh right-handed batters coming in. Mercer is first, and Detweiler throws it right in there to Jordy Mercer, who has homered off him in his career, 1 for 3. Tonight 0 for 3 with a couple of ground balls.
I'm sure Matt Williams and Steve McCaddy and everybody in that first base dugout would love to see Ross Detweiler with a clean 1-2-3-8 right here, keeping that score right where it is.
He tried to go soft with the curve and never got it to come around. And he gets a pop-up. Ian Desmond under it.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. For details, visit nationals.com. Big first out, nicely done.
Next up, Chris Stewart. Facing Detweiler for the first time. Stewart has walked twice tonight, once intentionally, lined out to short. Back in the 3rd, that laser right at Desmond. And Gabby Sanchez off the bench in a moment to bat for Tony Watson before they bring in Mark Melanson for the attempted save.
Good pitch down the zone.
Took a little bit off the breaking ball. That's hit well to the gap and perfectly placed. Span and Worth pulled up just a little bit. Don't know if either of them could have caught it. And the Pirates get one to fall perfectly in between.
I'm not sure, but we'll take a look at the replay. I think the Narc fan might have got fooled on that. And I think I saw him take a false step, thinking this ball was hit a little bit better than it was. Kind of a jab step back. And then he went for the ball in right center field. He didn't know whether he was going to crash with Jason Wirth, so he pulled up. Maybe he takes his eye off right at the last second and perfectly placed.
Gabby Sanchez, 5 for 16 with 2 pinch RBIs this year. First year was with the Pirates in 2012 after the Marlins demoted him to AAA. Caught on with the Bucks. He had 233 here last year. And Detweiler pours in the 86, took a little bit off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is where Ross Detweiler has to be mentally tough. He made a good pitch. He thought he was going to have the second out of the inning. That second out to stand on second base. You got bear down right here against Sanchez. And fight, thinking, here we go again.
Right field line and out of play down into the waste area down there. So here we are at PNC Park. Long ball game for a 2-1 affair. Dan Coco around the ballpark tonight. Bob and FP way upstairs here in the booth. And it's the bottom of the 8th with the Pirates on top, 2-1. Busted bat right at Anthony Rendon. 2 outs.
Boy, I love Detweiler tonight. He is going in to win. Now it's time for Toyota's K's for Kids. The DC area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by an Nats pitcher this season. Nice pitch right there to Sanchez.
Josh Harrison has faced Ross Detweiler twice, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He has scored a run, singled, and walked tonight.
It's a good miss. 95 down the zone.
And a base hit to right. That's going to double the Pirates' lead. And a good job of going the other way by Josh Harrison, who with McCutchen has been the difference maker in this one tonight.
Maybe even more so than McCutchen because of the defense he's provided on the Wilson Ramos line drive to right center. That took 2 bases away and a leadoff double from Ramos, and now he comes up in the 8th and drives in Chris Stewart with a beautiful swing and a line drive to right field. Kevin Franzen selling out for an errant throw by Wirth. Nice play keeping Harrison at first.
Big run for the home team, and here's Neil Walker. He'll turn around, bat from the right side. 1 for 3 career against Detweiler. To short, Desmond behind it. Over to Espinosa, and here we go, bottom of the 9th. Pirates pick up what you hope is not a crippling run. Espinosa, McLeod, and then Franzen. 3-1 Bucks. Jordan Zimmerman will be rubbing up the ball and looking for his 4th win. He has won 2 of his 3 road starts this year. 2-0 in that department. And there's Charlie Morton, tied for the major league lead in losses. He is 0-6 with a 3.45 ERA. Nats Extra 6:30 on Masson 2. We'll join you from the booth here at PNC Park at 7. 3-1 Pirates. And if you want to text Masson's word of the day, batter, to 29292, you might win a meet and greet with Mike Rizzo. Thanks to all of us here at Masson. Batter to 29292. It's Masson's word of the day. I'd like the word of the day to be comeback. The Nats have 14 come from behind wins this year. The Pirates 13. And Washington will have to do it against Mark Melancon, who is 7 for 9 in save opportunities so far.
We see the strikeouts to walks, 14 strikeouts to just 3 walks, so he's been around the plate. Lefties hit to 167, righties 238 against the fastball, cutter, curveball, change combination. Doesn't throw the change very often, and the fastball average is 92.
Danny Espinosa leads off. He's 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch high. Espinosa against Melancon, 0 for 1. Nats saw him a couple of times when he was closing for Houston in 2011. He had 20 saves that year. Complimented Jason Grilli here last year with 16 saves of his own. Ball 2. Grilli on the DL right now, as mentioned, with an oblique problem on his left side. So Melancon's their 9th inning guy.
It says get on base behind Espinosa. I'm not sure though. Wow.
I heard fans below us booing before the pitch got to the catcher. He must have had some interesting 9th innings lately.
Get on base. Yep. It's easy to see.
Four in a row.
So like I said when I introduced him, 14 strikeouts and just 3 walks. Be patient. Nicely done. And here comes the secret weapon. One of them. See, this is where that attack on is huge, right? You'd be bunting Nate McLeod.
So Dobbs for Franzen next. After Nate McLeod, who has doubled on a ball dropped by McCutchen and then bunted his way on for a base hit.
Definitely taking a strike. Better be careful if he throws that pitch again. McLeod with pull side pop. That was on the inner half and a short porch here and right.
Only 320 down the line here. That's a little chopper. Melanson goes to second. Gutsy play. He gets the lead runner.
It's not a good play. He got away with one. I mean, it was a good feed, a very athletic play, but up by 2 runs, you take the out. So he takes the risky play, like you said, Carp, where you just need outs right now if you're the Pirates, and you don't need 2 base runners, and I've seen those go in the outfield. The high percentage play was the first.
Yeah. Nate McLeod now 1 for 4 career against Melanson. And Greg Dobbs will step in. He's faced this right-hander 3 times. 2 ground balls, a strikeout. And the Nats need their newest specialist out of the dugout to come up big here. Span on deck.
Told him today to try the label that the barrel might be overrated because he's been lining out a lot to right field. It's the 97 pinch hits, leads active players.
Lenny Harris all time.
But right now, forget that. Use the barrel and let it rip.
Manny Mota was the longtime leader. So here's Dobbs on a count of 0-1. A little bit away. Crowd of 23,468 chanting "Let's go Bucks."
Sure wasn't "Let's go Dobbs"?
Could be. I could have misheard that. 10 career pinch home runs. 3rd behind Scott Hairston and Jason Giambi. And a 1-1. 91 slips by.
It's a cutter. Kept it down. Good pitch. A little cut on it late, but the location was perfect. Down the zone. He doesn't want anything belt high. And Dobbs thinking about tying it up. Pulled off.
Fastball away. Counts 2-2.
So I'm looking at the percentages. He throws the cutter almost 50% of the time. The fastball 35% of the time. So basically you're going to get something hard from him. And he only throws the curveball at 14%. Might get a curve right here.
Well hit and foul.
Nice play.
Well trapped. McLeod at first, 1 out, top of the 9th. Nats down by 2. They've been out hit 7-5. And a curveball will strike out. Greg Dobbs brought him to a knee. It was down so far. And now it's up to Denard Span.
Pretty good curveball, too. And it's the first one Dobbs sees, and it's a 12-6 bender straight down. You see the fist pump from Chris Stewart. He loved it. And you see the fans ringing him up over the Nats dugout. And now it's up to Denard Span.
Pirates trying to win their 20th game of the year. Bad news from Atlanta. The Brewers have blown their lead there and trail 5-4 to the Braves. Span 0 for 3 with a walk. Johnny Holiday, Phil Wood with Nats Extra when this one's over, hoping to delay that show's first segment for a while. And that ball gets away. I thought Nate McLeod was going to take second base on the previous pitch. The Pirates were just not holding him at all in a situation like this. So he will go down there on a pass ball.
That's a good play. That's
Chris Stewart's third pass ball this year.
I mean, you want to make the Pirates throw the ball across the infield to get to Denard Span if he hits a ground ball.
So a runner in scoring position, and Denard Span with a count of 1-1 against Mark Melancon. Very late reaction by the hitter on a down and away target. That's been his bread and butter pitch.
Well, spread out, choke up, stick your nose in there and fight. That's all you got left. Try to get on for Rendon.
And a 2-2. This could get interesting really quickly if he gives the Nats one more base runner. Anthony Rendon is 0 for 1 career against the Pirates closer.
Up by 1, you might think about throwing something off speed right here in a 3-2 count. Up by 2, I mean, you got to throw a strike. And if you're Denard Span getting in right now, you're betting the house on a fastball. If he throws me anything else, he's got me. And your thought process is, why would he throw me anything else?
Yeah.
He got to throw a strike. I'm sitting 3-2 fastball. If he throws the curveball, tip your cap and get him tomorrow. Or fight to put it in play.
And he walks him, and the tying run's on base.
Great take right there by Span. That was not an easy take. That pitch was a strike with elevation for about 58 feet. The bottom dropped out with the last second cut. Watch this out of his hand. That's a strike. And then you see the cut right there. Denard Span says if it starts low, take it. And he does. Keeps the line moving and this game alive. It's Anthony Rendon's turn now.
And a visit from Ray Searage, the pitching coach here. With 2 on 2 out in the ninth, Rendon is 0 for 4. So this whole ninth inning non-automatic thing kind of goes on all over baseball. You know, fans get very impatient with closers if they don't go 1, 2, 3 every night.
Well, Jason Grilli.
It is not easy anywhere.
It's not. Jason Grilli's been out with a pulled oblique. He's supposed to be back on Saturday, and that would put Melanson back in his more familiar spot, the 8th inning. But he did a nice job saving games late in the season for the Pirates last year when Grilli was hurt. So trying to get through this one, and Anthony Rendon trying to keep the line moving. Right approach by Rendon. He's going to see that cutter, and he's going to see it away. So he's thinking right field. Just broke off the plate too far.
And then it's 0-2.
I don't think Rendon loved that call. Let's check it out on Pitch Track. What do you think?
Generous. You cannot leave the bat on your shoulder with 2 outs in the 9th. And it'll be well outside.
I'm surprised he doesn't back him off once and then go back out there, but he is just going to the well in the outer half consistently. And if it's on the plate, Rendon will hit it. That's his strength.
And another good take. Melanson just having a hard time putting away hitters here.
It's a great block by Chris Stewart. That ball gets away. Tying runs on second base. That's a big play. Ball in the dirt. He kept it close. Both runners advance right there. You got a situation. Look at the block by Stewart. Textbook. Keep a Denard Span at first.
Rendon up the middle. Here comes McCutchen. And it appears he has caught it. He lays out on his back. Would the Nats challenge something like that, or was it obviously a clean catch? It appears the game is over.
Matt Williams is coming out. Matty Williams is walking out of the dugout right now, and why wouldn't you appeal it?
You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, do it.
Matt Williams is looking back at his dugout right now, and he's just been told that it was a clean catch and the game's over.
Yeah, and it looked like he caught it from up here.
Yep.
And that's why he's the MVP. A couple of RBIs tonight, a sliding catch to save the game. He made a few nice running catches, and he saved the day for Mark Melanson and the Pirates.
Rendon, an extremely well-hit ball. And the Nationals continue to hit into brutal luck. Bad luck when it comes to liners in the outfield.